So my goal here is to. We know he's kind of susceptible to the Andrew Tate. I saw a video that I don't have access to the link you guys posted, by the way. Dan. I saw a video on Monday that like blew my mind, and you've probably seen it. Oh yeah, you did. It was the lawyer reacting to that like leaked Hustler University video.
Yeah.
And you know, this video is extremely hard to find. The only place I've found it, and we've looked everywhere, is this lawyer talking about it.
I've watched it.
Bradley's in the waiting room.
No, I know you've watched it, but I can't find the video anywhere.
Oh, because it's I think his team probably copy strikes those because they are paywalled content technically.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Well, right. If you re-upload it, yeah. There he is.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, I can see you, bro. What's up?
Yo, first off, I gotta say, I love the new haircut, bro.
Thank you, man.
Are you talking?
Not you.
Yeah,
is he talking to me or is he talking to you?
Thank you, bro.
Okay.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
No. What are you guys doing? What's going on right now?
All right, Bradley. I want to try. I need to get your opinion on something. I know you're open-minded.
Clenbuterol. How quickly can we get Ethan on it?
No, definitely don't do it.
Not
100%
Clen?
not do it. No, Clen is such a bad thing. You don't want to do it.
Which one?
No
What's
oral
Clen?
steroids. Clen is the horse bronchitis medication.
Yeah, it's just it's too acute. Like, you know, it's just too much too fast. I wouldn't do that.
Are you driving right now, Bradley?
No, I would never drive and be on the phone.
Oh my God. This is primal as fuck, dude. You're like looking down. You're not even looking at the road, bro. Look at this shit.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm gonna pull over. I'm literally about to pull up to the gym right now.
All right.
He's
Congrats on the new
bro.
gym.
It doesn't matter. He could just fucking drive over people. He wouldn't even know about it.
Yeah,
okay?
he wouldn't feel it.
Yeah.
You just walk out like unbreakable.
Yeah, LA infrastructure, baby. What?
People are for sure mad at me right now that I'm driving on this call. I know.
Yeah.
I already know.
Just don't.
It's okay. I'm pulling in. But go ahead.
Bradley, you're alpha. You're alpha. Don't concern yourself with what fucking sheep think. Okay, you're lying.
All right. Here's what I want to first of all say. Lots of love in our fans for you for what you did on that Nelk podcast. You try to bring the truth to them. Did you see us appreciating that?
Yeah, I did. I saw them talking about it. And honestly, man, like it's just, I don't know, it's like when you bring up anything that's opposing, obviously everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? Or we didn't really go into it. I mean, I don't even know enough about the whole thing to really go into it, but I just remember having that conversation with you. Then I did some research, and the word for word likeness on the website was what I was looking up of that, that lover boy.
Yeah. So well, here I want to show you a video. Okay.
Are we gonna get him to watch the video?
We can show him a video, right, Dan? Yeah. It's going to show up on your phone.
We can show him a video. Can we wait until he's parked?
No, I want you. Hey,
no, I'm going to park right now. I got to tell you guys, your guys' setup is so legit.
Yeah.
Like, I said it a few times, but I'm like really impressed, man.
Yeah,
anyways,
thanks,
I'm going to
bro.
park.
The more you talk about it, the better
video.
I feel about it. I love that.
No, dude, honestly, like you make me feel like I'm just getting started and I really have some work to do.
Bradley, just put the phone in your lap and just look straight down at the video. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you ready? I'm gonna roll it. Oh, I feel like I'm your dick, bro.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking park.
Okay. Yeah, and congrats on the gym. Sorry that Steve will do it. Betrayed you once again.
What happened? He didn't show up.
He didn't show up, man. That kind of hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. I was upset. Actually upset. Because like all jokes and shit aside, it did make me feel a type of way for sure.
And did you guys work it out?
Yeah, he's gonna come. He said sorry. He did.
And so I have to tell you something. You tweeted out that you lied. Steve will do it. Did jerk off his dog?
That.
Oh
and,
no!
And then you quickly erased it. What happened there?
Yeah, well, because I was just like, it's not really. I was mad and I was joking.
Yeah, we heard.
Why'd you erase it though?
Do you,
it was so
do you think
good.
it was because like when you named it zoo culture, Steve will do a thought like there'll be animals to jerk off there, and that's why he was excited. And then he was like, "Oh
Donnie?
fuck, there's no animals to jerk off here. I'm not coming."
That is interesting.
No, but yeah, I did. It was a post and delete because I was like, it's not worth it. But yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. Come on.
I should have left it. It was pretty good.
I'm the cool dad now.
Well, I was gonna quote tweet it and say 90%, bro. 90% of the poll.
Yeah.
fuck?
The H3 audience poll never lies.
All right,
you guys hear
listen.
me?
Yeah. Wait, Steve will do. Wait, hold on. What is this breaking news?
Yo, wait.
Oh yeah, here's
Can
the
you hear me?
tweet. Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, you heard it here, bro. Like, you were angry, so how am I supposed to know that this wasn't you being truthful?
No, because I'll tell you why. Because I was sitting at lunch, and I was like, should I just do it? And I was talking to my boys, like the guys who help me make content. It's so funny seeing that tweet. And then I was like, I contemplated it, and I posted, and then I was like, is that kind of fucked up? Because I didn't want to be mean, because it's not true, actually.
Are you
but
sure? Because
Yes, bro, I
again,
just do.
because I'm just putting myself in your shoes. If I'm angry and I'm trying to exact revenge, then I'm gonna be like, this thing I said isn't true is true because it did happen.
No, see, because I tried to pull like a Steve will do it, which was just like make random shit up about someone for like drama and like fucking like I was a drug dealer. Right? I never actually sold drugs, but it was a hilarious joke for time. And then I was like, that's not really what I do, so I took it back. You know?
Okay, so he did not jerk off his dog. That's the official.
I don't know, but the poll. Remember, you did that poll, and that was pretty damning.
yeah. All right, here here's why I want you here. I want to show you a video of Andrew Tate.
Okay.
I want you to just watch this video, and then I want you to tell me what you think about it. It's a new video. I just saw it for the first.
It's not a new video. It's an old video of his from the website of the package that he was selling.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean by new is I just saw it for the first time on Monday. So this is even kind of newly unearthed clip. And it's from Hustler University. So this is what people are paying him to teach young men how to find their way in the world. So make sure you're in a comfortable place here. I'm going to open this up for you. This was very hard to come by the way.
I've never seen any of this shit.
Yeah. So it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and we edited it together for you.
You edited it, or is it straight?
Well, no,
they took it off.
It's real. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen this video in its original form when it was re-uploaded to YouTube many times over, but because it's paywalled content, they oftentimes like DMCA strike it. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's one of his like how to start a webcam business. You know how the website that you read from, like the old website before he like deleted it after people yelled at him and said like this is sex trafficking. This basically was the accompanying video, like Ty Lopez style video educational web seminar that he sold.
Does he have a car in the back? And he was like, "But look at all these books." Was it one of those?
He doesn't do that.
He said, "Look at all these bitches."
He does do that a little bit, yeah.
All right, you ready, dude? Strap in, man. Strap in. Just watch this, and I want your honest take. Here it is.
Start saying things like, "Oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling, and you can't come. I want to bring you with me." Traveling's a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else.
Can you hear it? Okay. Do you have earbuds?
It's kind of fuck. Yeah, let me put earphones on.
Yeah. As beautiful as your ear is to stare at, bro.
Yeah. Please work, dude.
Yeah. This video rules, man. Yeah, I think you're gonna love it. All right, you ready?
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, it's worth the wait.
I don't know if these are. I think the only pair that has no power, bro. Hold on.
No, it's all good. Yeah, tell me when you're ready. I'll just chat with Hasan.
All right.
Hey, Hasan.
My headphones on.
Are you excited? You think this is gonna be? Oh shit, dick vision again.
I love this angle.
He doesn't think we're watching, but we are.
I love Brad. He's
a good guy. Yeah, he's a good. I actually like this. This is candid. This is cool.
Bro, you and I have to go to his gym.
I'd love to.
One Sunday, we're just straight up going to his gym.
It sounds dope. His new gym.
And we're working out there.
Okay, I'm into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna secretly put steroids in your food.
Hell yeah.
Well, now oral steroids is really bad for you.
Yo, Ethan, drink this.
No, we'll do. I'll just jab you.
Pre-workout.
I'll jab you and I'll tell you it's the vaccine because you're a liberal, so you love vaccines.
Okay, dope. Thanks, bro.
I'll be like, yeah, give me more of the vaccine, please. And the vaccine is anabolic steroids.
Brad, you good? We love Brad.
Here.
I'm getting my mom vibes. Yeah.
Right,
Nice feeling.
He took the air. What happened? He took the pods out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they weren't working. They weren't connected. So I'm gonna go in this room right here.
Okay, it's cool. Night. The roof looks great, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'll show you guys. Hold on.
Good.
Hold on. Check this out. How do I spin this around? Okay, real quick. Yeah, no, it's lit.
God damn.
Shit, bro. How do you fit all those people in there?
I mean, dude, it's giving me like real New Jersey gym vibes in a good way, though, not in a bad way.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, cool. All right, here we go. This is good. This is worth it. You're gonna love this. Here we go.
Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody. You need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. So control element. It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, but we had to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera. You say, because I'm the one typing, I'm the one with the property you're working in, I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity, I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property, I'm the one who bought the equipment, I'm the one who knows what he's doing, I'm the one with the knowledge, I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up, go online. And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall. So really you're paying 30, you tell them you're paying 50, the difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Oh, okay. And they just sign away. They don't know what they're fucking signing. I'll throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real's happening. Nothing's happening besides me getting rich, bitch.
Oh, is that it? So I just want to summarize. So, part one is
the part one is the most like the most serious one, which is like I've said this before, but like he did do the same thing, like low budget Jeffrey Epstein thing, basically, where Jeffrey Epstein had Ghislaine Maxwell, and he would use Ghislaine Maxwell to like coerce the women into sex trafficking. And he's basically doing the same thing. He's like, you need to have your first like loyal bottom bitch, I guess, is what he's saying. Come with you to like tell these women like, look how easy it is, look how great it is. Like that creates a sense of security. And then you just lie to them. Lie to them. You garnish their wages and you pay them significantly less than what you're actually telling, what they're actually making. You lie to them and say that you're paying their taxes when you're not.
That's fraud, by the way.
Yeah, all of that is fraudulent.
Yeah, and also printing out. Go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead, Brad. I can't wait.
This is what I find really interesting. Listen.
Go ahead.
Obviously.
Go ahead.
So my question is this:
speak your heart.
These people, these girls who are willingly doing this to make money, right? We have to show that they did not want to do this in order for it to be considered sex trafficking, or no? Because at some point, wouldn't this be a girl who's like, I have no money, this guy has a plan, yes, he's obviously based on this clip, he's a very shrewd business person, which I would consider most of the people that I've ever done business with are.
So
as
do you
well.
think? Well, hold on. Let me ask you this: do you think being a shrewd business person is stealing 20% from your employee and lying to them, and then printing out fraudulent tax forms?
Well, technically, he's just doing capitalism.
Not at all. So there obviously there are issues with this for sure. But my question ultimately goes: does that person, regardless of that, is she being forced to do this, or is she willingly do this? Right now, the other thing that I just want to point out before we go further in this, and this has nothing really to do with the actual stitch against Andrew Tate, the trafficking stuff, or the accusations, but the fact that we're also talking about another person who has been like, I don't know if they're relinquished of these issues, or this Maxwell chick, if she's just walking around on Earth chilling. But like, I hope the thing that gets me about all this is that Andrew Tate's such a big figure and such a massive character that like it's really fun to make content and all the stuff around him because it's viral and people get views. But how come we don't have the same energy towards people we know that are on some fucking list somewhere that we never get to know about?
Who?
Why don't we go towards that?
Who?
Why do we clickbait every fucking title about?
Wait. Who are you talking about?
I'm just talking about the fact that we're sitting here discussing this Andrew Tate thing, which I understand can be an issue and is an issue right now, right? But he's fun to make content about. Yeah. At the same time, we're talking about someone, Maxwell, who's still alive.
She's in jail.
Well, she did go to jail.
She's in jail, bro.
But I mean, you're talking to someone who has made a lot of content about Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. I still make a lot about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I talk about this sort of stuff all the time. We've talked about it on Leftovers too.
I'm mind-gobbed by this point. Why should I talk more about Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm talking about why don't we know more about the people who are on that list?
Well, I'm sure.
The clients of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, unfortunately, are probably never going to be unsealed. That's just their.
But that's my thing, right? That's the thing. Look, I understand.
No, I get that.
That might be real, but it's like we're making all this content around Tate because it's viral, right? We're not making content around that kind of stuff because of the shit, truthfully, that I believe Tate has been.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm telling you, I make plenty of content about Ghislaine Maxwell. I made plenty of content about Ghislaine Maxwell as well.
Not just that. It's the rest of the world. The rest of the world doesn't give a fuck about it.
Let me explain. From my perspective, first of all, you can care about two things at once, right?
100%.
Okay. So we acknowledge that. So, and then at the same time, Andrew Tate's influence is as big as people talk about him.
For sure.
Okay, so that in my opinion explains why people talk about him so much, because there's so many people that still support him. And to go back to the video, here's him saying, now outwardly getting someone's consent. There's like, if you look at like what Jeffrey Epstein was charged for, you could make the same argument. Like the girls came by their own free will. They said, hey, come do a massage. We're going to pay you money. And then he ended up being like, hey, you got to jerk me off now. They could have left. They didn't force them to stay. It's coercion, right? It's false pretense. So if Andrew Tate is innocent, then so is Jeffrey Epstein. You understand that point? Like, because I'm pretty familiar with the crimes of Epstein and what went down in these massages. He sent Ghislaine to recruit girls. He used other girls to recruit girls. They come in, they start giving him a massage, and then he'd flip over and take his dick out and like horrify them and see if they jerk him off. Like legit, that was his MO. And so you could what? Yeah, so you could easily say, well, they could have left. They could have left. I mean, a lot of them were underage, so that's a different point. But you could say they could have left.
Okay, now listen, I'll respond to that. I understand what you're saying, but now we're talking about a woman who's making a lot of money versus making no money, not just jerking someone off on a massage.
What?
Now we're talking about from what I understand, Tate is talking about is getting a woman. Yes, he's making a lot of money off of her and leveraging her. She's also making a lot of money. You're relating that to someone jerking someone off.
I don't know how much money she's making.
No.
30%.
So I don't know. Here's the other side of that. A lot of what will, I believe, come out from this investigation is what is similar to what happened with Nexium. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, Nexium.
Which was also built around a cult of personality, who is now an imprisoned racketeer and sex offender, Keith Raniere. Now, that guy also did like motivational videos or like motivational seminars. And then he basically built a sex cult on top of that on the side. And he would do the same thing. He had like a bottom bitch, and then he would go and like find other women and like bring them in. He even had some famous celebrities involved in his cult as well. And and it is identical where you get these women to basically leave everything behind, sometimes come to a different area, a different location, like Romania, right? You take them out of Moldova, you take them out of like the United States, you take them out of the UK, and you fly them in.
They become
so now they're in
on you.
they're entirely dependent on you.
Yeah.
And because you're controlling all of their wages and you are demonstrating that you are lying to them about what kind of wages they have, you also put them in a debt trap. You're like, oh well, here is how much the webcam is and all this other shit is that I'm paying for. So you have to like basically pay me back for the room and board, the lodging services. This was all uncovered in the original press release from the investigation. And it's pretty basic stuff, pretty common stuff. Like one, you coerce them originally not to do sex work, but specifically as like a girlfriend, right?
To move them.
Then you
That's
move
the lover
them
boy
and you
shit.
separate them from their friends and family, and they're entirely dependent on you. In certain instances, he even branded them with tattoos. That was another thing. Like he literally did the exact same thing that Nexium and the sex cult did as well. Nexium also branded their members as well, like the victims, and you break them down and make them entirely dependent on you, while simultaneously saying like, I'm your meal ticket. You don't know anything. You're in a new country. I'm your shelter. I'm your food. I'm your meal ticket. Your entire life belongs to me. So now shut the fuck up and do my bidding. And his bidding happens to be webcamming. Even if it wasn't webcamming, it would still be like illegal.
Also, even
if it wasn't sex work, it would still be illegal.
Also, he's violent. You've seen the video of him beating the shit out of that woman, right? He tells people that was like role play.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I feel like didn't I see the same girl come out and say like, "Oh, this wasn't."
No,
there were multiple.
Same
No.
girl?
There was one girl. There. So I think he's like half into BDSM as well. I originally talked about that as well, but one of the victims said, "I'm not a victim. This is BDSM. Like I'm into it, right?" But there were others who never came out in a similar light. There were multiple different people that he had beaten on camera.
I want to make a point because, like, I just want to talk to kind of what you believe or what you're saying, because we're saying, okay, we have to prove that there was no consent, right? That's how we end this conversation. So coercion, right? Do you think that coercion, if you coerce someone to come work for you, is that the same as consent? Do you think?
I mean, obviously, coercion is not the same as consent. Two different complete things.
Can you consent under coercion? Like, can you actually consent to a situation that you're being misled about? You know what I mean? Because you're agreeing to one thing, but it's entirely a different thing. Like Andrew Tate in some of these reports, these girls, he was saying, come over, let's get married, I want to be with you. Then they'd get there, and he'd get them into cam work and fucking forget about them. And you know what I mean? Like he never had the intention of being in a relationship with them. That's the lover boy thing. So can you consent to something that you don't that you're being misled about?
This is obviously if you're being coerced into something, you can't just consent. I've been in situations where I've had to consent to things that I knew I was being coerced in, but like there were other things that were forcing me to have to consent to them because of timing or because of like, for example, I mean, I can't give too much detail because would put me in legal trouble with like other shit. But yeah, I've been in situations where I had to consent, even though there was coercion, because I also needed it to work out the way that I needed it to work out. So
there can be other components. Like there could be other components where like you're not giving enthusiastic consent. So ultimately what ends up being an important piece of this puzzle is like having enough victims come out and offer personal testimony. There will always be, like in the Nexium sex cult situation, people who still say, no, he did not groom me. I wanted to do this. I love him. And, you know, I got branded by him, and it's a show of loyalty. Now, that literally still remains for Keith Raniere. These people went to the Brooklyn, or I don't know where he's actually being held, but like they went to his prison and they have been still actively, they've been actively defending him. Some of the victims that were groomed into being in the sex cult still actively defend Keith Raniere. It will happen with Andrew Tate as well.
I don't know anything about Keith Raniere or any of that.
This is just another. I'm just using a parallel here of like grooming, sexual abuse, and like having a sex cult because it's like nearly identical.
I think Epstein's the best because it's so similar to what they're doing. It really is.
Yeah.
But like I guess so. Not all coercion is illegal. Let's go back to that, right? Because we all coerce people and are coerced in our lives, right?
Or persuasion.
Persuasion. Yeah. I mean, you could call it persuasion, right? And that happens to all of us. It's not always illegal. But just imagine you meet the girl of your dreams. She's rich. She's awesome. She loves you. She wants to marry you. And
I'm already not buying it. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, it's a little different for a guy. It's a little different. Maybe it's a little different. But just be with me here for a second. In your imagination, would you want to imagine you're a petite, hot little 20-year-old? Because I can do it that way if that's better. Yeah, okay.
Funny.
You be yourself. You be Bradley. You be Bradley. Okay, so there's the girl of your dreams. She says, also, let's pretend you have no prospects. You're like young, you don't have a job, you're kind of lost, you don't have a lot going on. And so this girl, she goes, I've got a super exciting life. I've got all this money. I'm in love with you. Actually, I want to marry you. Come to Romania and be with me.
I can't even take this serious because it doesn't even happen, bro.
You'd think
This
that,
is like-
wait, are you making fun of the situation I've created, or do you think this doesn't happen in real life?
For men, I mean, like, I can never, because I'm from my perspective, I can never imagine my 100% beautiful, this is exactly what I want, being rich and having all this shit, and then them coming to me and me having nothing, and then being like, I want to marry you. I just can never see that happen.
So let's pretend you're the hot 20-year-old.
Okay, so I'm doing now. I'm okay.
Yeah, so you're
Okay, fine.
so you got nice. So Matt, put yourself in the plate. You got nice curves, fat titties, huge ass, bro.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be all that. You're 20-something years old and you have no prospects in your life, okay? And someone tells you they're going to change your life. Someone tells you they love you, you fall in love with them, and then they basically tell you that, like, if you fly out here and live with me, I'll put you in a nice house, I'll put you in a fucking mansion, I'll serve you the best caviar, the best food, I'll give you all the anabolic steroids you need.
Enjoying making him imagine he has beautiful lip, kissable
I'm
lip.
just saying, like, because that's like, it's going to take him
very
out of the conversation
clean,
a little bit.
straight,
I'm
lush
gonna be
hair.
honest with
No,
you.
I'm putting him in the spot.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm the kind of person, if someone told me that, I'd be like, bullshit. I'm not buying it.
Bro, you can't.
I'm not buying it.
Especially if you're vulnerable though, like, and you don't have any prospects, and you trust this
listen,
person
can I tell you guys
fully.
a story?
Wait, hold on. I just wanted to.
Story?
Yes, but I just have one follow up. So you're saying you can't imagine a situation where a girl is coerced by someone like Andrew Tate to move there under false pretense.
I can't imagine being a girl, knowing what I know. I can't imagine putting myself in that situation and believing that to be true. Even when I was younger, let me tell you guys a story. I was in my early 20s and I was broke as fuck. I lived in my car. I got offered $8,000 to fuck some dude's wife in Beverly Hills. I didn't do it because I was like, this is a weird situation that I don't want to be involved in. I needed the money. I had no money. I lived in my car. And I didn't do it because I was like, this didn't feel right. What I'm saying is, no matter what, my mind would never have worked that way where I go, oh, I'm just going to give into this situation.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you to use your imagination for a minute.
But a lot of these. Well, by the way, part of the reason why you didn't want to do that.
I know
is
you
because,
wouldn't fall for
Wait,
it,
hold on.
bro.
This is a great. No. This is a great analogy. This is actually awesome. So part of that was because you thought it was weird, right? Part of that is because you thought it was unethical. But there was also a security issue there, right? Like you felt a little vulnerable because like you don't know what the fuck this guy's gonna do. He might like chop you up, drug you, right?
Or jerk off. Or
I've been in weird situations like that as well, where like this is important. We're big dudes. We normally don't ever have to think about like or ever consider like what women have to think about 24/7, right?
100%.
But did you feel like your physical safety might be compromised in a similar situation because like you don't know the environment?
Well, yeah. I mean, I could also know, like, I don't don't know what's going on. But at the same time,
Exactly. I've been in not like an identical situation, but I've been in a similar situation before where that actually helped me completely visualize like the physical harm element that women go through all the time on dates and stuff. So now, how do you eliminate that? How do you eliminate that physical harm component? You eliminate that by spending enough time so that you trust this person fully. Because if this wasn't a random person, but someone like that you trust fully, and it wasn't like a sex act like that immediately, but instead something lighter and like a friend of yours basically saying like, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to fucking, a girl that you're in love with saying, we're going to change your life. We're going to make it so much better. And it wasn't like fucking some dude's wife, but instead like, first you're going to show your titties on camera. First you're going to like show your muscles on camera. And then they slowly but surely like feed you more and more stuff to do over the process of like a month as you are like completely alienated from your friends and family. And you're now living in this new area where you have you have, your access to shelter and everything else is directly linked to this one person that you trust fully. You're not even going to think about it. Even if they like they can take your passport away and say, hey, this is for your own safety. You might lose
that,
it.
By the way,
which again, according to the investigation, that was
he was taking
a part of that. What I'm trying to say is like, even if you as a big intimidating guy have a hard time understanding that, I feel like if someone when you were financially in a vulnerable situation, if someone had like come to you under false pretenses and made you fall in love with them and then basically started like pushing your boundaries and easing you into it, you probably would have been able to do something. Maybe not like be the bull in a cuckolding situation, but like, easily find yourself doing like sexual acts on webcams or whatever, you know what I mean? Slowly but surely.
We're just trying to explain how like coercion can be, I mean, it is illegal, right? Like how that's human trafficking. Because it's hard to say, because you guys are looking for something that's like, she said no, and he handcuffed her and locked her to the pipe, the radiator, right? Like that's what you want. That's what you want to say, okay, this guy's a human trafficker. But it's more nuanced.
That's not how that works.
That.
Yeah, that's never how that works. I mean, that is how that works in some instances, but like the way more common method is literally this, where you like slowly but surely feed these people lies and you tell them you're in love with them. And then when they're like completely trapped in your scheme that you've like concocted, at that point it doesn't even matter. And if they ever step out of line, you can even give them physical threats, implied threats, physical coercion, or even in certain instances beat them. And especially if you're like into BDSM, quote unquote, and have like shown that you have the capacity to beat some of these women, then you kind of trap them in that situation where they just don't want to. They love you, they're in an abusive relationship with you. They don't want to offend you. They don't want to upset you. You're their entire world, and you're betraying that trust by forcing them into doing things that they may have wanted to do originally, but they have no other option now. They don't even have the option.
I guess that's it's a little bit nuanced, but what Hasan is describing is actually illegal. It's coercion, and that is actually human trafficking. That's the lover boy thing that resonated with you. I mean, that's kind of a nuanced explanation.
So you guys think he's fucked?
I do.
Like 100%.
I don't know if he's 100% fucked, but he has openly talked about his methods. He always stops short. Every single video I've seen of him talk about his process of like how to get girls to do webcam stuff. He always stops short of like openly stating how to keep your bitch in line. You know what I mean? I've heard him say numerous times, the methods, what to do, but like I won't be saying them here. Like he'll always say shit like that. But if you are being physically abusive, if you are intimidating people like this, and some of the women that you cast this wide net on are going to inevitably come out in an investigation like this and validate those claims that you have made freely.
Okay, listen.
And then the other component is the rape one. like the sexual assault and rape.
Let me come from a different angle, Brad. And by the way, this is a good conversation. You know what I mean? Don't feel bad that you can express yourself and feel how you want. You know, this is a judgment-free zone. And
like Planet Fitness.
What?
Like Planet Fitness.
Like Planet Fitness, those motherfuckers.
Wait, what?
Because Planet Fitness is a judgment-free zone. We don't let fatties in the zoo.
The zoo is not a lunk-free zone. The zoo is a lunk-only zone.
What's a lunk?
Isn't that what they say at Planet Fitness? A lunk?
What's a lunk?
Oh, they have a lunk alarm. Yeah.
Yeah, when you drop weights. I mean, if you're fucking deadlifting 4 plates, you're gonna fucking make some noise.
They have a lunk alarm?
Yeah, they get mad at you if you drop.
Do you allow lunking at your gym, Bradley?
Yes, if we're considering deadlifting lunking, then yeah, for sure.
You can lunk over there, bro. That is a zoo.
That's why I wanna. Yeah.
All right, Bradley. There's one other thing I want to show you, and you know, I'm sorry. It probably feels like that we're barraging you, right?
It's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm here.
So I can try to put it in like simpler, more direct way. So you know why he was going back. You know he was kicked off Big Brother back in the day. You know about all that?
I know that he was on it. I didn't know. I don't know the details surrounding it. No, I don't know enough.
So he was on Big Brother, and he was actually popular there. People were liking him because obviously, for obvious reasons, right? He's crazy. He's got a big personality. He's funny.
Yeah.
Now he mysteriously left the show, and nobody knew why. This is all a matter of fact. Vice reported they got a hold of the producers, and the producers confirmed that the reason they booted him is because there was an investigation ongoing in the UK for him committing rape. Okay? He wasn't charged for it, but this is what happened, okay? So now I'm going forward. The girl who went to the police and said this guy raped me sent these voice messages to Vice. So I just want to play the voice notes that Andrew Tate was sending her, and that she turned over.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are these the voice notes? Listen, all I want to say is I think I might have heard this shit, and I'm going to be honest. This sounds like some AI shit.
It does. The first few seconds does sound weird, but like it doesn't matter. It corresponds to like actual investigations that were conducted in the UK.
I mean, they got this. Yeah, this is real. They got it from the girl.
That's just how different mics make you sound different. That's it. And it's not just that, but it corroborates eyewitness testimony of multiple people in the UK at the time. There was an official investigation that they dropped, and I will give you details on that. But here, you listen to this then, right?
I know what you mean.
I've seen fucking Elon Musk talk about some shit he didn't talk about with some AI technology.
No, this isn't. First of all, it's not AI because there's literally actual human beings accompanying the WhatsApp conversations.
Let me just say this: the girl who sent this to Vice sent it to the police. The police report did happen. The investigation did happen. So that it does sound a little funny, right? It does sound a little bit like AI generated.
At first, it sounds weird, right? But that's also like mic difference. There's also like 2015 phone mic, WhatsApp,
and I think
all
part of it is that they're edited really close together, so it sounds a little unnatural. But what's important is that it's corroborated by the police, by the girl, by the Big Brother. So all this stuff did happen, right? And this is what the girl sent Vice News. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Listen, I'm not trying to sit here and just defend this guy. I'm telling you at the same time, though, like police, like all these people, like I just feel like at the same time, like all of this, like I don't know how to say this.
I know you're not defending him. I'm just seeing if I can break through. That's all.
Did you know
it's the Matrix, bro?
No, it's not the Matrix, because here's the other part of this that like I think should be mentioned more frequently. In the UK, in England, and in Wales, there was an internal review that was conducted about police mishandling sexual assault cases. What happened to this girl is one of those instances. There's empirical evidence for this. they botched thousands of cases and refused to prosecute them, including cases where like cops themselves were doing sexual abuse personally. This is actually a big piece of the puzzle here, which is ironic because Andrew Tate was like, "Oh, I'm going to Romania because in the UK you can get into trouble for assaulting someone, or it's just a he said she said situation and it's fucked up." But like the reason why they dropped the ball on this case is because they dropped the ball on thousands of instances of sexual assault, and they always ended up saying, "Well, it seems like you wanted it. It seems like you were asking for it." Like that was straight up the official response.
It's a big
paraphrasing a little bit.
It's a big scandal. You can read about it, but I want to talk to like basically something that. So you were making a point, and then we keep going off on tangents, but I want to hear your opinion.
Wait, I want to hear this.
Okay. All right. So yeah, here it is.
But now hundreds of cops are
Am
about
I
to
a
get
bad
fired.
person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
So, I mean...
Am I a bad person?
It's interesting that this girl says she was R-worded and went to the police. Right?
You're saying this girl, there's some girl attached to the other side of this.
Yeah.
That got this, like, look at my WhatsApp messages or some shit.
She sent it to the police and to Vice News.
She originally went to the police first in like a couple of years prior, right? After being in a relationship with this person. All right. And obviously rape and domestic abuse does not happen in the way that like people present it in movies where it's like a random stranger. That happens as well. But the most common instance of rape and domestic abuse is like within close partners in a relationship, family members, things like that. Now, for that reason, they originally didn't do anything with it. But in 2015, another victim came out. So a second police investigation was conducted into the matter. So they brought her back, the original victim. They brought her back in and they said, "Would you testify?" And she said, "Yes, of course I would." So she testified. She gave all the WhatsApp messages. She gave all the audio recordings from WhatsApp to the police. The police saw all of this and the other testimony of the other victim and ended up dropping the case. The prosecutor decided not to follow through with this investigation as they had done thousands of times over. So much so that an investigation recently was conducted into police mishandling sexual abuse cases in the UK, and now hundreds of English police officers are facing dismissal over sexual and domestic abuse offenses because they just never prosecuted it. It was a systemic problem in the UK.
The point, I think, is that you're looking for is that this is a real voice note. I don't know if you have enough information to believe that, but it is corroborated by Vice News and the police and Big Brother producers.
The reason why I'm mentioning the other side of this, with like police dropping the ball on this and the evidence for that, is because a lot of people look at this and go, how the fuck, if they had this much evidence, they didn't prosecute it?
I agree. It's important.
That's what doesn't make any fucking sense to a lot of people I've talked to about it.
I agree. But like, so they have too much plausible deniability, the Tater Tots. So I want to just focus on the minutia here a little bit, or it's not really minutia, it's the meat of the thing. So do you have reservations about this voice note? If this if this voice note is real, let's assume, what does it say to you? Assuming it's real.
I mean, I can't assume that it's real. It just makes some shit up about assumption of realness or not. I mean, he sent me a voice note before on WhatsApp. He didn't sound like that.
It sounds like
but that's from, again, remember, this is from 2015. First of all, here's one thing I can tell you. Artifacting always happens. No.
Brad, do you believe in the Matrix?
No. Artifacting always happens, but here I'll explain it in the easiest way possible. Please, Ethan, let me explain this.
He's not. It does. It's
no,
not
because
do anything,
because
bro.
I look. The reality is, if this voice note was fake, AI technology in 2015 was not capable of deep faking voices to the degree that they are now. You're thinking with your brain in 2023.
No, Brad thinks it was made recently.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
Brad
not,
thinks it was made recently.
I know, but there is metadata in voice
Brad
notes like
hasn't
this.
seen the metadata.
I know, but like,
right, Brad?
But even if Brad saw the metadata, he would not understand it. I wouldn't even understand the metadata.
No, but Brad needs to see the WhatsApp messages. Right on the phone, somebody scrolling. Like you want to see, like that shit's real.
The point is,
Hasan, you're never gonna have that.
Yeah, the level of evidence that you need in a lot of these instances, you're never going to get. You're not going to get access to all the fucking information. You didn't have that for Jeffrey Epstein, but you believe it. Why? Because you understand that, like, one, you understand human motivation, and two, you understand that, like, institutions that go through this stuff will oftentimes do their due diligence, right? And I believe that the British police did their due diligence to know that this was valid. But that's not the reason why they dropped the case. They didn't say they dropped this case because the voice notes were fake, because they would have said that. They dropped the case. If the voice note was fake, why wouldn't they just come out and say, well, the voice note is fake, and that's why we dropped the case? They didn't say that, though. They said they're dropping the case because they did not think that they did not think that they could set up
it's a deep fake.
Good enough.
Just accept it. You're like in denial, right, Brad?
If it was a deep fake, the British police would have said it's a deep fake, and that's why we dropped it.
No, they wouldn't say shit. It was
yes,
made.
They would.
It was made recently and sent to Vice to deceive people like me and you, the sheep in the Matrix, agents, to believe it's fake, right, Brad?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And how can we ever know?
No,
How can we ever know anything?
I'm giving Bradley the benefit of the doubt
Brad,
here.
how
and
can
trying
we
to
know
describe to him
anything?
trying to describe to him why it doesn't make sense.
No. I'm trying. Brad, how do we know anything? Like, it's just at the end of the day, Hasan, answer that.
Yo, you're such a dumb fuck, dude.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I'm riding with you now, Brad. Fuck it.
Knowledge.
I got to see those texts, bro. You know what? I got to see a video of Andrew filming himself speaking into a phone. And even then, Bradley, the technology is pretty fucking crazy these days. Like, that could be fake too, to be honest.
Okay. We have to trust that, like, for example, you know, things that we read have to be valid. There are numerous safeguards when you read like a New York Times article. Even though they do have the capacity to fucking print something that's untrue, they redact it. Like, I don't like the New York Times. I'm not a big fan of mainstream media, but there is a method that like they go through when they're investigating certain things. And if you didn't believe that, then like everything you believe, you have to see with your own.
You're missing the point,
eyes.
bro. How do you even know that letters are real? How do you even know that newspaper you're holding is real?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I really don't believe any of this media.
There it is, bro. Thank you, Bradley. I'm with Bradley. I'm taking his.
If I'm just being honest, like, I know they're. I'm not saying nothing is real, nothing is true.
Yeah.
But based on my experience, it's not even about this Tate shit. Just like,
actually, I'm curious.
I talk about media literacy all the time. This is a fundamental problem. Okay. A lot of people understandably do not trust mainstream media, which is adequate. I don't trust mainstream media either. What you need to understand is, what are their biases? You have to, for example, state news like Al Jazeera or even the BBC, they do a pretty good job of covering other countries' news, like when they're covering America. They're oftentimes more objective when covering America. But I will never trust Al Jazeera when they're covering Qatar, because it's the fucking state broadcaster, and they're always going to lie about their own state. Okay, so you have to pinpoint what their biases might be,
dude. They all
and why they cover
Andrew Tate.
Why they cover things in a certain way.
Andrew Tate, right, Brad?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know I see a lot of shit.
Yeah, we don't believe anything.
They're not biased against Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a low-level criminal. Like, they don't give a shit.
No, they hate him because he's speaking to men, right, Brad?
A part of it. I think there's a part of it that it's not like it. I don't know about all of it.
Yeah, they don't like him because he's speaking to men, Hasan.
No, that's just crazy. There's so many people that speak to men that are just as big pieces of shit as Andrew Tate is, but they're not fucking like. If that was the case, Steven Crowder would be getting false charges for rape and sexual assault and sex trafficking.
Wait.
Ben Shapiro would be getting that. There are plenty.
No,
Jordan
Andrew
Peterson
Tate's
would be
more
getting
dangerous than them, right, Brad?
No, he's not. He doesn't even.
Let Brad answer.
I don't think about necessarily more dangerous than that. I just think it's more like he's the most popular thing to talk about, period.
Right.
So I just think there is some biases around the fact that like you can look at any of the content and all the content that discusses Tate just gets more views, more everything. Like there is something relevant to that all news sources understand and know, just like YouTubers understand and know and Twitch streamers understand and know.
Yes.
They're talking about something that's current. And we're all making money from that. You are, I am, views, Twitter, the media.
I mean, you say that about
ads,
Jeffrey Epstein. Like covering Jeffrey Epstein's trial is making me money, and therefore, what are my biases against Jeffrey Epstein? You know what I mean?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Listen,
you can look at your views. The amount you cover Jeffrey Epstein, the amount you cover Andrew Tate, I guarantee you add those views up, Tate doubles, triples your views.
Bro,
that's not true. When Jeffrey Epstein was relevant before he was suicided.
But that's my point. Look, I'm going to stop you right there. You just nailed it. When Jeffrey Epstein was relevant, you were making more money off of Jeffrey Epstein and talking about him. Now that he's not as relevant.
Now that he's dead,
he's
shut
dead.
The fuck up.
He's dead. If
why the fuck? No, hold on, Hasan.
What?
After he died, why'd you stop talking about him, bro?
I mean, I still do talk about him regularly.
Oh, it's not?
It's not about talking about him specifically. It's about talking all the other shit that's still hidden behind.
Why are you not talking about the people, the client list, right, Brad?
That's a piece.
That's a piece of it, Hasan. What about the client list? I'm on your side, bro.
It's too big. It's too much.
It's too big. You talk about Andrew because you can't.
People say this. First of all, you can focus on two things at the same time, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about but this is not an argument, okay? Of course, you're going to talk about ongoing injustices if there is an ongoing injustice happening, okay? If Andrew Tate has an active investigation being conducted, then of course I'm going to talk about that instead of the guy who has been dead now for many fucking years.
Ghislaine's alive.
Well, I've talked about Ghislaine as well.
It's not even about that. It's about the fact that there is for sure a list of people that they know damn well exactly who the fuck they are and no one talks about it. So I know you're saying it's not as current, it's not as relevant, the guy's dead. Regardless of that fact, there's still a list of people who did the same shit.
Yeah, bro.
And they gave into the same type of thing that we're talking about.
They did the same fucking thing as Andrew Tate, and they're walking free, aren't they?
I know, but that's not a defense for Andrew Tate. That just means other people are.
Listen to me.
That just means other people are doing the shit.
Listen, I'm not defending what Andrew Tate did or did not do. I'm not defending this. I'm defending the fact that there are still a bunch of scumbag motherfuckers who are walking around just fine as day, and we're not making any content about them because we're not making money. No one gives a fuck because everyone's dead at it. They stopped talking about it. But that still exists. That trauma still exists for all those people who have talked through that. Those people.
Okay.
Now they can't talk about shit.
Bradley. This doesn't make any sense, and here's why. Okay, if someone goes out and murders someone, okay, if someone goes out and murders another human being, and there's an active investigation being conducted into that murder, but the person happens to be fucking famous, so everyone is covering it, that famous person can't turn around and go, well, other people are murdering other people. Why the fuck are you talking about my murder case? Well,
that's not what I'm saying, though, Hasan.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying at all.
Try listening, bro.
We're talking about two separate things. Have all the hate or hurrah towards Tate. I don't give a fuck. It's irrelevant to me.
Right.
I'm saying at the same time, there's still a whole group of people that did dirt that is just like, we'll just forget about it.
Right.
Okay, but you're.
So I'm not saying you can't have both. You can have both.
Right. Bradley's saying keep the same energy, right, Brad?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about someone who does keep the same energy? Because I do keep the same energy. You know what I mean? I do. I keep the same energy for all of these instances.
Well, according to Brad, and Brad, I think I'm going to represent you well here. He says if you add up the time from the Ghislaine shit and you add up the Tate time, the energy ain't the same, right, Brad?
No, it's not that the energy ain't the same. The views aren't the same.
The views aren't the same, brother.
His energy, Hasan's energy might be exactly the same. Because I don't think Hasan is the kind of person that just goes, well, I just want to hate on Andrew Tate because I just want to hate on Andrew Tate. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the relevancy of the fucking views and then it leads us as content creators to make more content towards it, which I understand that's why we're having this conversation today.
I know, but that doesn't change. But we're not talking now about the details of the investigation and whether or not Andrew Tate did it or not. We're just simply having a conversation about, like, of course, someone who is more famous or more culturally relevant than Ghislaine Maxwell getting more clicks and more eyeballs. Yes. If it came out tomorrow that Brad Pitt was fucking sex trafficking people, then that would be infinitely more relevant than Andrew Tate even sex trafficking people. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying, like, yeah, he's a very famous person.
Who did Brad Pitt?
So of course everyone would fucking talk about it. Like but that is materially irrelevant to the facts of the matter. And I think a lot of people, without realizing, get into like a deflection mechanism, a deflection mode to like bring this up as in an effort to like find hypocrisy somewhere. But there is no hypocrisy there. Yes, if famous people commit crimes, more people talk about it because they are famous. That doesn't change the reality of whether a crime was committed or not. And that is what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying at all that it is. I'm just saying I wish that we were able to go towards that, not just making content about it, but like there's still clearly a whole group of people who did a ton of dirt that they're just walking around. Like,
I agree with you.
Bradley, let me ask you something. At what point will you believe something you see or hear? We're talking about news, or we're talking about Andrew Tate's voice memos. At what point are you like, this is real? What do you need?
To be honest, man, like that's why this shit's so weird. Like
you can't, yeah.
I think because I have so much mistrust in media in general, and I have so much mistrust even in like the internet and the way people make content on social media and how, like, I've been lied about countless times on the internet to my dismay, to someone else's benefit for years. So it's easier for me to be able to, like, I'm not sitting here trying to defend someone at all, but I can put myself in a position where I've been attacked multiple times for someone else's benefit, for someone else's views, for someone else's money. So it's hard for me to believe really anything. Like, and that's the tough part, because I'm not a police officer. I'm not doing an investigation. I'm not talking to these women. I'm not in it. So I can't make a real assessment to it. I will tell you though, from my personal experience, I've dealt with so much personal bullshit in regards to people saying things about me that just 100% are true. And I just had to live with it. I had to deal with it. I had to deal with the shitty comments. I had to deal with the hate messages. I had to deal with nonsense. I had to deal with people trying to tear me down, turn my businesses down, my companies down, my brands.
So,
and okay, but that's different, right? Because like, there's a difference between like people shitting on Andrew Tate for like misogyny or whatever versus like actual criminal actions. Because there are multiple different avenues, like institutions that are also now involved. You have on the one hand institutions and organizations in the UK that failed to investigate him properly, right?
Let me stop you. I'm not saying you're. I know everything you're saying, and I know what you're about to say. It's true. I was just sharing my opinion. Why, if I'm answering this question, what do I need to see?
You will. So it seems like nothing can ever convince you.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I think when the investigation concludes, and if the investigation shows like,
if he's convicted, will that convince you?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, of course, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you. I'm going to try to focus on something else real fast. In the video, which we all agree is real, he says he lies to the girls. He takes 70 and gives them 30. He tells them he splits it. He lies to them. He says he's paying taxes. He's not. And so we all agree that he's doing that, right?
Well, he said he's doing that.
Yeah,
he's doing that. He's doing that. That's fraud.
Okay, so that's fraud and it's theft, right? So he's a criminal already.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a crime. Okay, so this is good. So imagine a guy who's willing to do a crime, and you've seen the way he talks about the women with such disdain, right? Like, he doesn't fucking have any respect or care for them at all. I mean, how could you, if you're like, yo, here's fake tax fraud so I can steal money from you? I mean, so again, is that someone who respects the women he works with, or is that someone who sees them as more of a fucking crypto farming, human crypto farms?
Crypto farming.
Yeah, no, but seriously.
I mean, bro, the situation is fucked, obviously.
Yeah, it's fucked. And he's committing a crime, right? He's stealing from them. By his own admission, by his own words.
I mean, he did say that.
Yeah. So he's stealing from the girls. We know that for sure.
Which I'm looking at that, I'm like, that's why I can't believe he said that.
Yep. He said that. And so that one we can't even debate. He's stealing from them. He's just stealing and he's lying to them with fake tax forms. That's like super high level fraud. You can't fill out fake tax forms, right? Like that's super illegal.
Yeah, I mean I would go to jail for that.
Yeah, big time. But also imagine how much you'd have to hate or not respect the other person on the side of that.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
You just you don't think that they're fully fledged human beings if you're fucking them over like that.
So like, is it, so when you start there, this is what he said. He goes, yo, I'm stealing from them. I'm talking about it openly. These people are nothing to me except a fucking ATM machine. So, I mean, from there, it's not that much of a leap, right? To think about he's coerced them to come there and work for him because he's basically said they're human ATM machines to him.
I hear your point.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Nice. Yeah. But the thing is, we can all agree he's stealing from them.
Yeah.
That's
okay, cool.
Does that meet the standards of sex trafficking is the question for Bradley. And I believe that given the legal definition of like the lover boy method and grooming and coercing women into sex trafficking, especially when the investigation is concluded and it shows like witness testimony about physical coercion, physical intimidation, paired up with all of the things that he has said about like beating women, paired up with like videos of him actually beating women, I think it's a pretty open and shut case. Having said that though, just like in the UK, I do not believe like when we talk about the Matrix, like I don't think the Matrix is as against Andrew Tate as he claims it is. If anything, the Matrix has shown time and time again, if you think of like cultural hegemony, the world that we live in, time and time again has shown that it doesn't usually side with women. It usually sides with perpetrators. It usually sides with people in power. So I don't even know. I don't even know what will happen in the Romanian court system.
Let me throw a hypothetical to you. You just started with the Nelk podcast, right? And congratulations. That's awesome. You're a great presence there. Everybody loves that you're there. Let's say you make this deal with Kyle and he goes, yo, we're going to go 50-50 on this. You're like, awesome, 50-50. And then you find out a few years later, he was actually keeping 70%, giving you 30, just straight up lying to you and keeping fucking 20% that whole time, bro. Imagine how little respect he'd have for you just to fucking steal 20% from you like that for years. And then you go, oh, maybe you find out about it. You say, this seems light, bro. Like, where's the other 20%?
This
He got,
in a different situation with a different business partner.
Well, it's not that different. He goes, oh, I paid taxes with it. And you know what's crazy about that is that the girls still have to pay the taxes on the 30%. Yeah, so like the level to which he's fucking them over.
That'd be a lawsuit. I mean, if we're going that theoretical situation,
yeah, they're not going to sue, but they're not going to sue him. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what their capabilities are.
Yeah, no, they're not going to sue Andrew because they're fully dependent. They live in his compound. It's like he said, remember his words was like, I feed you, I pay for all this shit, I know what it is, I've got the infrastructure, I've got the house. He said like he's like, yo, you live here, you're in my world. You know what I mean? Like he said that basically when he's like, I do this, I do this, I do this, I'll do this, just shut up and do the cam work. So they're not gonna sue him. I mean, no fucking shot. Right?
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to suggest that. So again, we're painting a picture here where he's stealing money from them, he's using them, and they're in a position where they're not really gonna have the power to do anything about it. Right? Because with you're a guy, you're an influencer, you can walk away, you can sue him, you can make a video. These girls can't really do anything.
If you're a Moldovan, like 18-year-old who now lives in fucking Romania.
And you're scared of him too, because he's a big guy.
You're in love with him, and then you're like kind of scared of him because you're in an abusive relationship with him alongside like 18 other girls, as he's also claimed.
Yeah.
You don't have any fucking legal recourse. You're not even thinking about the legal recourse.
It's like not
you're
out of the question.
Because you're thinking about survival.
You don't
at
even
that
live
point.
there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You don't even speak Romanian. Who you gonna talk to about it? And then imagine this: the guy there, he's a fucking kickboxer, and he's into BDSM. He's a little fucking crazy in bed, and maybe you like it a little bit because he fucking slaps you up and shit. But then all of a sudden, you're like, this guy's a little crazy. He's a kickboxer. He's a hothead. What's he gonna do to me if I try to sue him or go to the police? What do you think? You think a girl's gonna just be? And she fucking lives in Romania. She came here from where did you say?
Moldova.
She came here from Moldova, and she's living in Romania. She doesn't even speak the language, right?
And on top of that,
so what's she gonna do
on the internet? That this dude has legions of fucking fans that like go absolute apeshit over anything he does. You think that this is like a powerful figure, both in your life and in general? Because he is. Like, people will, if you come out against a very famous person like this, like,
yeah,
people are gonna fucking destroy you.
So does that kind of make sense? Like in this picture we're painting, where this girl who he's stealing money from, does it kind of make sense, right? Where she's not going to be able to do anything. In fact, she'd probably, you can admit, scared of him a little bit.
I mean, in the picture you're painting, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
that's
that
human
big of a
trafficking.
stretch. It's
That's
not
human
that-
trafficking.
Yeah, it's not that big of a stretch.
I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, he's not forcing them to stay, right? But he's created a situation where they pretty much have no choice, and they're scared of him, and that's human trafficking. He convinced. It's crazy, right? Because he convinced them to come over there because he wanted to marry them. He said they love them, they trust him, and then all of a sudden, this is the situation. He's stealing their money, and they can't do anything about it.
They have no
because they're scared of him.
They're also making money.
They're making. Well, he said himself. He goes, if we make $10,000, then she gets $3,000. And by the way, in some of the reports, and we don't need to speculate because I like that this hypothetical situation is pure. But in some of the reports, they said that he was withholding their money and not paying them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But let's say, yeah. I mean, yeah. So let's say, yeah, they're making money, $3,000. Let's say there's a top earner there. Let's say she's killing it, bro. She's bringing in tons of cash, right? She's like huge. And let's say they're making $100,000 a month, bro, crushing it. So she's getting $30,000. That's a lot of money, right? So imagine she goes to Andrew, listen, I don't want to do this with you anymore. I'm going to leave and do it on myself. Or she's going to say, I want to leave because I made enough money and I don't want to do this anymore. What do you think Andrew's going to tell her?
I'm assuming he's going to try to convince her not to leave.
Yeah, and he's scary, and she's here from another country. She doesn't even speak the language. Also, he's stealing her money. Let's say she found about that.
And she says, I want my money back. What is he going to do?
He's a little scary. He's a kickboxer, and he's into BDSM. And he has guns. He has armed guards there. He has a ton of guns, bro.
It's like, the thing is, though, it's like, okay, these are all theoreticals. I understand what you guys are trying to say.
No, I mean,
they're not.
This isn't.
They're not theoretical.
But this is all based on what he said. This is all based on the premise that we agreed on, is that he's stealing money from them. So if you start from there and build up,
I'm just saying, all the other things you're saying to like paint the picture. At the same time, the theoretical situation you're creating right now, for all you know, maybe someone said that to him. Maybe I want some more money. He goes, okay, bye. How do you know that doesn't also
because
exist?
He might have said that to one or two people, but if there are enough people that he did not say that to, that's still illegal. You know what I mean? Like, let's say again, going back to the murder analogy, if you murder one person, you murder two people, you murder three people, but then the fourth person you let go, that doesn't absolve you of the three murders that you've conducted.
Yeah, of course not.
You're still a murderer at that point.
But I think the premise we've built here is very plausible considering what we know for sure, which is that he's willing to steal money from them and lie to them. And that he is a kickboxer. He has a compound with guards. He is a kickboxer. And we've seen a video of him beating the shit out of a woman. Maybe she liked it. But either way, he's capable of slapping a woman in the face really hard because we've seen it on camera, right? He's comfortable doing that. In fact, he likes it.
Yeah, the thing that I know for certain is that he did say on camera behind a paywall saying that, like, I'm comfortable with basically stealing from these people. He did say that.
So that's pretty interesting, right?
He didn't even just, that wasn't even like an admission. He was flexing that. He was saying you should do that as well.
He was teaching that.
Yeah, he was educating others to do the same thing.
That's Hustler University, bro. That's what he thinks young men in the world need to hear. What do you think about that?
That was the first iteration. I don't think that was Hustler's University level. I think that was before, when he was like teaching people how to do like literally the lover boy method, ironically, until he got called out and deleted it from his fucking website.
So let me ask you this. He is breaking through to men. Do you think that video we watched is something that's good for men to see? Because that's that's his specialty, bro. That's his background. That's how he made money.
That's the game.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, no.
It's bad.
You're just telling people to lie to people and to take more money from them.
Yeah. There it is. I think we found some common ground here.
Yeah.
That's undeniable. That clip is, you can't make that up. I wish I saw that clip. I've never seen the clip.
Yeah, and I just saw it on Monday, right? It just kind of is making the rounds now. I just saw it too. If I had it, I would have shown it to you earlier. But I feel like this has been good, actually. I feel like this has been good.
Yeah, this was a productive conversation.
Yeah,
More people need to hear things like this, and you got to take the time out and explain it to people. I know that people get like immediately mad and go, "Oh, just end the conversation, shut it down." But like, no, a lot of people do not comprehend that like what Andrew Tate is doing on a grander scheme is playing into the matrix, the real matrix, which is patriarchal constructs, which of course allow for the objectification of women, and also capitalism, which allows for coercive conditions in which you employ people and you fuck them over. Every boss fucks their employees over.
Whoa.
Okay? I mean, to a certain degree,
Come
that is what it is.
bro.
To a certain degree, that is what it is. There are levels of this where
this fucking guy.
There are levels of this where, you know, there are levels in which you can do it in a way where like your employees are happy, they're stable, they love the workplace, they love all of that. Okay. I mean, I have collaborators as well. So, but that is the reason why people look to normalize this kind of behavior, or that is the reason why people turn a blind eye to this kind of behavior, because they just don't think about it as like anything out of the ordinary. But when you pair it up together and you like withhold passports and you know, lie and withhold wages and openly admit that you're lying about that sort of thing, then it becomes like extra illegal to the degree where like the average person should be able to comprehend it.
See, you're such a nice guy, Brad. You can't even imagine lying to someone and stealing like 20% of their money. Because that's crazy.
I've been fucked over so many times.
I'm sure you have, bro. Yeah, and it's like, you can't even imagine it because you're a sweet guy, you're a genuine guy. But imagine the type of person it takes to be like, I'm going to steal 20% from her. I'm going to lie to her. And I'm even going to print out fake tax forms so that she shuts the fuck up. Like, imagine the type of person. Is that the same person that you met with and who was like cool and awesome, Andrew Tate, who you think he's an awesome guy and you say that? Does that jive with the guy you know?
No.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah. And is it possible that Andrew Tate, and this is a big leap, so apologies if you can't join me on this, is a high-level functioning psychopath who, well, is it that hard to believe he's stealing money from them and lying to them and printing out fake tax forms and then making videos about it? How much does he benefit from being friends with you and the Nelk Boys? Answer that.
And Aiden.
And Aiden Ross.
Aiden
God, how
Ross
much money has he made for making content with you guys? Because y'all are like, you guys, by your own statement, you're 95% men. Y'all are the men's club, and that's cool.
It's a mutually beneficial relationship because the other side, like, there's a reason why some people go to certain lengths to defend Andrew Tate as well, like, because Andrew Tate does bring relevancy and clicks. So that's the reason why the fresh and fit podcasters were literally like dick riding him so hard, even though they were not allowed to have conjugal visits with Andrew Tate in Romania. They were writing underneath his fucking, they were running underneath his tweet like, we should bring the boys over there, right? Like, should the Fresh and Fit podcast go to Romania? It's like, bro, how fucking desperate. Like, holy shit.
But so
let's talk about that for a second. So Aiden's gonna go. Is Aiden gonna go to Romania?
He said he's gonna go. Huge mistake, and obviously you know how we feel about it.
I can't get through to that, man. That boy.
It's so good for him, and he sees how much.
No, I think it's beyond that. I think
he's been groomed.
I think that Andrew Tate is a relatively charismatic figure, especially if your like worldview aligns with his, and he's like a funny guy. So I think that's part of the other reason why like people are ready to defend him, because they find him to be like funny and they find him to be their friend.
Also, it's easy to not look at the really red flags. It's easy to kind of look past those.
I look at everything, man.
That's good. That's why you're the man. That's why I like this conversation. So, but let me ask you this, because I want to finish this point.
Okay.
How much money do you think Andrew Tate made from his association with Nelk, with you, and Aiden Ross? Like, how many Hustler University memberships did he sell from that? It's right.
I don't know, but to be honest, I mean, I don't know. The reason why I can't just say like that's all it is because at the same time we also realize like it's not like we were like, hey, Andrew Tate, no one knows you. Let's make content together. Now everyone knows you. He did blow himself up. It's not as if like everyone's been using him. If I'm being honest, everyone's using.
Oh, he's the one that's being used. Okay, interesting.
No, it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
He's not the one who's being used. There was a reason why he would go on all these shows, because he doesn't have a steady flow of like audience that he can tap into in the same way that like Aiden Ross has loyal fans and hundreds of thousands of people that tune into his stream every day. That is very valuable to someone like Andrew Tate, who doesn't have his own like personal media operation in the same vein. He had a YouTube channel, Tate Speech or whatever. That wasn't popping, you know what I mean? Until like the TikTok stuff blew up. But even then, he needed like collaborations. And you understand this as a content creator. Like, you have to collaborate with other content creators to continue growing your audience, to continue your material fresh, to keep your material fresh, and to have a steady flow of like new people coming in. And that is precisely what he did with Aiden Ross and everything else, with everyone else.
And let me throw another point to you. This is a man who we've all agreed, by his own words, is willing to steal from his girls, and he doesn't give a fuck about them. He'll steal from them and he'll lie from them. So this is a guy who has some psychopathic tendencies, because that's not normal to be able to do that, right? Like that seems pathological to me, to be that comfortable stealing and lying to someone about it, right? That's not normal.
I don't know about psychological. I don't know about pathological or anything. I just think some people.
That's not normal, bro.
I don't think it's normal. No, I don't think it's normal. I think a lot of people do it, but I don't think it's like psychotic.
But the way he talked about it and the way he's proud of it and he wants to teach people how to do it, that's just not, to me, that's not normal behavior.
Yeah, when you don't believe your victims are people.
And so, right. And so this is the guy who is going to buddy up with Aiden Ross and with Nelk, because they got that perfect audience. And he's going to be the biggest sweetheart to you, right? Like, y'all are going to hang out for 3 hours after the show, and he fucking loves y'all. And you know, by the way, psychopaths, super charming. And I'm not making a joke. That's one of the traits, is that they're extremely charming and extremely manipulative. And so he's going to turn it on, because guess what? Y'all are super fucking useful to him. And guess what? It's good for him too, because it's useful for you guys. It's like win-win. But just of course you're gonna love his ass after 3 hours, because he's super charming and he's super smart and he's super manipulative, and we know he's manipulative because of how he lied to his girls. I'm just saying, bro. Something to chew on. Something to chew on.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. You're the man, bro. Thanks for talking to us.
Dude, I apologize. Yeah, my bad. Motherfuckers keep calling me.
Wait, who's calling you?
Just fucking my videographers.
What the hell, bro?
No, I know. I gotta tell them to shut the fuck up, right? And give me my money or what? Not kidding me.
I want to say thank you for talking to us. I know that we barraged you a little bit, but I'm happy we had this conversation, because I think it's useful, and I really think it's great that we're able to at least find some common ground here, which I think we did.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on always. I mean, it's all love, no matter what.
So we can all agree Andrew Tate is a criminal.
Well, I mean,
fuck yes.
I can say that for sure. He admitted to stealing money from these people.
So he's a criminal.
Yeah, by
Okay.
his conviction and all that.
Okay. So there it is. Let's start there, baby.
Okay.
Listen, Bradley, you're the man. Go out there, lift some heavy shit, bro. Go lift the
I apologize.
No, it's all good. Go lift the heaviest fucking shit in that gym, bro.
I appreciate it. You guys got to come train one of these days.
We're gonna.
I'm down 100%.
You're the man.
guys.
Bye, dude. Love you, Brad. Besties forever. He's gonna lift the heaviest shit right now, dude. What do you think? I think we got through to him a little bit.
I think so too. Yeah.
And I apologize for doing a little bit of trolling. I felt that it wasn't going anywhere productive for a minute, and I just thought I'd try goofing around a little bit.
We do a little trolling. It's
all
called
good.
We do a little trolling.
Yeah, I was, sorry to cut you off sometimes.
No, it's fine.
Shush you.
Like, for everyone in the chat who don't understand, like, why do you have to have this conversation? It's like, well, there are a lot of dudes who have this opinion, whether you like it or not. So I think this is a very constructive conversation to have it's almost like when you have friends that have like shitty opinions or whatever, you don't immediately dismiss them and, alienate them, which will then further push them aside and most likely have them continue that kind of bad behavior. You treat them, try to pull them in and explain the situation step by step.
And Bradley's a great guy.
This is happening
He's
in a public
open-minded,
scale. Yeah, this is happening in a public
Yeah.
scale that is very constructive, in my opinion.
I agree. I think it's awesome. And the thing is, like, listen, we've all talked about Andrew Tate so much, but the problem is that there's like an iron curtain that people like me and you can't break through. And so if we can find a way to actually break in, because this whole manosphere red pill thing is really corrosive.
Yeah.
And we gotta, I really want to show what a fucking fraud it all is.